What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to the channel. In the background here, I have Black Desert's Online newest class, the Scholar, basically playing. If you're not aware, last night they had the Calpheon Ball 2023, which announces all of the changes coming for the game in the new year. This is a really good event, similar to the Heidel Ball that they normally host as well. Exciting time for players to basically understand the direction that Black Desert is going. And this year was nonetheless great. The top of the list is the introduction of the Scholar class, which I think is absolutely amazing. We're going to be seeing her probably within the next 3 days. I think she's going to release on December 17th. So or the 19th rather, pretty realistically by the next maintenance. So she's basically coming to the game. It's a good idea basically for her to be introduced now. She basically is going to be a lot like the Archer. There won't be a Succession and an Awakening release for her. She's just basically an ascended character, and you'll have to use her two skills in concert throughout the play. So she'll use Gravity Control as basically like her Succession skill, and then her Hammer as like her Awakening type skill. So I'm going to leave that trailer playing as we get to some of the content that was announced at the ball. Number one that I want the players to be aware about: don't miss out on the opportunity to put these coupon codes in. 2023 with Calpheon will net you some very good items: Jay's Hammers of Loyalties, Jay's Special Box, and 2 2023 outfit box specials as well. So those are really good items overall. And then you get Christmas Present, which has a lot of furniture decor items if you're into that kind of thing and designing your houses. Either way, you're probably going to want to complete some quests to get these gear scores or the house scores, and this is going to help you for that effort. So don't forget about that at all. Please do not. So let's get into the notes basically from there, right? So what do we get overall? Oh, by the way, sorry. By the way, so there's, along with the coupon, they're giving away special logins that will begin this Sunday, December 17th. Basically, every other day you will receive Cronstones or Dim Origins of Dark Hunger. Okay, so that'll continue for 2 weeks, basically through to January 16th. So make sure that you're logging in for that period and collecting those items. Along with that, they're also going to be giving a season character ticket. And that ticket basically allows you to jump into the season servers, which don't really exist. The season servers exist, but the seasons don't basically come. Like, season characters can be played all the time. So this is supposed to be added with the new update, basically, right? So we'll see that. I got some notes here, and there's quite a few of them. So let me get to this in the best way possible. All right. So along with the Scholar class, it was also announced that more than likely with Land of the Morning Light 2 or Land of the Morning Light Soul, that they were going to have an additional class that they didn't really name, but I think they called him the Dole Wielder, like something like that. Like, it was weird, right? But he's more than likely coming in the spring. Now, I don't know that he represents a spell and sword type character, but he does have a nice looking sword and he carries a pipe. So hopefully whatever we get with him, it looks really cool. I like different classes. I've been waiting for a spell and sword type class to come to the game. However, for the male types, we just haven't quite got that. And I was expecting to have that at some point in the game. And the closest that I basically have to that is like the Hashashin type class. So that's my main character for that. So that's supposed to be coming. Now, they did confirm that they were going to be developing a gunslinger type class in the game. They tried to stay away from it for a while, but they did promise that, but there was nothing of note about it during the Calpheon Ball. So I don't know if that's going to be something that we will actually see in 2024. It might not be. So the Land of the Morning Light Soul is set to come probably around this springtime, and it's going to be based largely on historical accuracy with visuals to the historical accuracy of what is the Joseon. I hope I'm saying that right and not butchering it for Koreans that might watch this video. The Joseon Dynasty. And they're going to be adding a lot of Korean folklore characters and Black Shrine bosses that are going to be guild bosses specific with mechanics. So that way, you know, the guilds have to work together. Along with that Land of the Morning Light Soul, we will get the introduction of Fallen God tier weapons. So this is really good because those Fallen God tier weapons give us a next level to work towards in terms of our players, and they will be higher than your current best in slot weapons, which are the Black Star pin weapons, right? So be prepared for that. I thought some of the visuals that they had for the Land of the Morning Light looked really interesting. We only got to really see this from Korean folklore, and we didn't get a whole lot of explanation on it, so I'm not exactly sure what it is, but perhaps these are bosses that are coming. If any of the Koreans might be watching the channel, please drop a note and let me know. I do like to look up to research things, especially when I'm on the throne, right? So so that was all we got for the new classes. I'm dying to see what they look like, and I can't wait to basically see what's basically coming for the Scholar. I will probably do videos of leveling up the Scholar because, like I said, this new year, my intent is to get into my grind and play Black Desert and games that I really enjoy. I'll be bringing content from whatever I play. I'm just going to record what I play, and I'm going to present it to you guys and let you guys try to navigate me through the world of gaming. So they also gave us some imagery of the new winter uniforms. So feel how you feel about them. I don't plan on purchasing any of these. I don't play Shy, so I don't really have a reason to purchase the Shy uniform. I don't think I'll purchase this uniform, and this uniform doesn't really hit me in a way that I really want to buy. I think there was a uniform that I did buy for like my Hashashin that was a winter uniform from last year, but that was it. Yeah, so up to the next biggest update, which is the improvements that they're making to travel inside Black Desert, which is really good. So currently you have to go through like loading screens when you jump inside the Magnus, and you've got to go to these wells, jump down the wells, and this whole thing. They're going to remove that basically, and they're going to basically add a teleport map to the system. You have to complete the Magnus quest line to have access to this map. Along with this, they're going to be adding access, teleport travel to areas like the Black Shrine, Ataraxian, and Ulakita. So you don't have to basically navigate these ways anymore. Along with the travel system, it's kind of important that we talk within the travel is that they're giving players again now a permanent chance to access one dream horse at T9. So you can basically get access at any point if you're a new player, access to the T9 Ardenaut, T9 Dune, or Dine. Now, they previously introduced this during the 2023 Festa event, and all of us got one, and I got my Ardenaut from there. But now what they're going to basically do is they're going to basically give that away again for permanent. If you got one from the 2023 Festa, have no fear. You're basically going to get a second chance now. So now I'll have my Ardenaut and I'll have my Doom. I didn't really have any intent on working on Dine, but I have enough inventory that I could start working towards that. So I'm pretty happy about that. The next biggest thing that they talked about was item simplification. So like if you play Black Desert, you know that your inventory is cluttered with relics, black stones. If you're into life skilling, then your seeds and traces and things like that, they basically take up so many slots. So like the best way to explain it is like maybe I'm into hunting inside Black Desert and I go kill a bear and then I have like bear blood. I go kill a wolf, I got wolf blood. I go kill a pig, I got pig's blood. And you have all these different things. What they basically said is they wanted to level some realism into the life skilling in the game, because BDO is pretty grind centric. But what it's done is that as they've added more and more systems and more areas and regions, it's just become a cluttered mess. And they want to simplify the UI structure, simplify the game. And I imagine as well that this helps them simplify the back end as well. So that way the back end's not having to track on all these items as well. So things like your blackstone, your seeds and your traces, your meats and your bloods and stuff like that, they're all going to be merged down into just a simplified structure. So that way you know what it is that you're getting, and they'll probably have like tiers of those things specifically. So this was the view that they basically gave. All I really know is it's going to clear up our goddamn inventory. Along with that line though, they have like event seals. So like if you play the game quite a bit, then you'll notice that you basically have these event seals that almost take up your space as well. I sat with like the Festa event seals in my inventory for quite a while. There's been times where I've been playing the game and I've just forgotten seals inside my inventory and they just stay there and they don't move away. Now, instead of me having to go to and mostly it happens because I got to go to a location and then I got to come back from that location. Like it just becomes like, Do I really want to do that for this item? And sometimes it just turns out to be no. So what they've added is this new UI, so that way you can trade in those event seals without having to go to a manager or something like that inside the game, and you can just get those items right on the spot. So that's really good. Along with that, we also end up a lot of times with like quest items inside our inventory, and we don't know whether or not we need to hold on to those items or whether we delete those items. So like for instance, when I was going for my fallen god armor piece, I didn't know whether I need to keep the fallen god armor item ring that was inside my inventory or whatever. Now what the system is going to do is going to automate and just basically delete those items from your inventory. Your life skill tools and things like that, those are also going to be removed from the game as well. It's going to just basically help out your inventory all in one, and it's really good. They're going to basically be streamlining and making the UI system for crystal management a little bit more efficient, so you can basically go inside these items and have your presets and basically have access to them for the different areas. So that way, if you have crystals for PvP, PvE, and then like life skilling, you can switch on the fly on those things and basically have them work there. They're going to have a new inventory tab specifically for like your ancient relic crystal shards. So like you would have to combine, there's going to be an inventory for all of these spaces where you have to combine things. Like, you know, hey, I went out on a quest to find, you know, different pieces of map and had to combine them. We're going to have a new inventory tab specifically for those things like relic crystals and stuff like that, which is a really, really good idea. I like that. The life skills are going to be improved inside the game. So one big note, really big note, is that the trading system is going to be temporarily removed due to like some restrictions. Like if you're grinding like areas or whatever, and then you can't sell it at a tag character, blah, blah, like they're going to be removed and they're going to be reworked for the trading system. I like the idea of this. Like one of the things that I hated about trading, why I never really did trading, was because I would have a character tagged to a character, even though I don't like the way the current tagging system works. And that would limit my ability to trade, because then I have to untag a character and they're going to be reworking trading. So trading is going to be temporarily moved probably till about the springtime, I think is what was said. And they're going to be merging all your life skills now. So like previously, like my one character was like into horses, and I just rode around the horses and I leveled up horses that way. And then I had another character that was responsible for, you know, fishing. And I had another character that was responsible for farming. And that's how you manage those across characters. So I would have to have these characters in spaces and switch servers. Now what they're going to be doing is making your life skills all in one. So they're going to be family wide, so account wide. So as you level up life skills in any one thing for your family, your whole family basically knows how to do it. I'm not exactly sure that I like that, because the characters are still separate characters, but whatever, it'll make things a little bit more efficient, because like now if I'm over in the land of the morning light farming with my Hashashin, I don't have to switch over to my Musa in his area, so that way he can go fishing when I go to sleep. Or, you know, like it just presents some really good things, because the Liana's tool bag is also going to be updated so that way all the characters can do this. Now, this is supposedly coming relatively soon, I think like in the next update. So that'll be really good for the game, I think, overall. Next up, they talked about like some of the monster grind zones, how like Dekia and Ukita zones, they basically they're at the top of the list. Like no matter how you look at it, whatever metrics they use, those are where they were at with them. They're going to basically look at other areas to basically improve those areas and bring them up to the same buff types as Ukita and Dekia, at least with relation to like, you know, player level and AP levels and stuff like that. So I think this will just make areas, you know, better, like, you know, for the game. So like you basically get spread inside the PvE of the area. So like I'll have a Dekia monster zone for Histria, for Sulfur Mine, for like, you know, for Acmans and stuff like that. It'll be a good way to just basically pop you up on content. Now, at some point, they're going to have to figure out the Elvia, Dekia, and Marnie's realms for these areas and how they specifically work and players understand them. They also have new content, monster content basically coming. So like the black shrines that are available, they're now going to add the calamity levels for 8, 9, and 10 in those areas. And those new areas for those black shrines, and the altar of blood is returning. And they're going to have a easy, hard, and medium mode, basically 250, 280 AP, and 310 AP. The really cool thing about these is that all of those new monster contents, they're going to basically be dropping Deboreka accessories. Deboreka accessories are like best in slot accessories. So that's really, really good, right? So they're also making some changes to the way we enhance gear. Enhancing is probably one of the most turn-off systems, I think, inside Black Desert for any new player, just because of how they work. You end up with fail stacks, so like you actually are awarded opportunities to succeed for failing. However, you could potentially have an item that's at like, so they have like the system of tet or try tet and pin is where most of your weapons want to be, and you can be going for a pin weapon and have your weapon at 10 at tet, and if you fail and you don't have a protection like a Jay's hammer or a Cronstone, then the item can revert to try, and then you have to work. It's an annoying system. A lot of times is the case for my play inside Black Desert is where I just purchase the items instead of having to work the enhancement system. Well, now what they're going to do is they're going to add a +1 fail stack guaranteed on when you fail with Cronstones. So this should basically like, it's basically like giving a little bit to the pity system. But realistically, enhancing is just one of those barrier systems in the game that, like, I think it's like it needs to be worked. Like, you know, like Lost Ark has like a lot of MMOs have like these enhancing type systems where you have like fails and pluses or whatever to them. But like BDOs just feels very weird, I guess. The major improvements that I think they talked about really well is like for those players interested in PvP, there's going to be a lot of changes coming to Node War, Conquest, and to guilds. So one of the things that really got me amped was them talking about adding in guild mount dragons. So yes, we're going to have guild mount dragons that are going to be introduced into the game, and that's just absolutely amazing to me. The guilds are going to be improved basically overall, so that way they have some things going on for, like, you know, identifying guilds and so forth like that, the daily wage increases. But I think the biggest one was the guild league that they're trying to work in development. So you're going to have a 15v15 guild type battle, and players will basically earn silver rewards and things like that for basically playing. So you're going to be using your own gear, and it's basically supposed to be designed to be like a friendly guild kind of guild matchup. But I think it's really cool. Like I think the idea of basically adding in these guild leagues is just another way to ensure that the PvE areas, people are engaging in PvE, and that when people want to really engage and direct their attentions to PvP, then they can do this without harassing players in the open world, because Black Desert is an open world environment and you can engage inside PvP in the open world. So Node Wars are going to see some improvements. I haven't really played Node Wars a lot, but I love the idea of Node Wars because it adds some layer of persistence to the characters, or to the world rather, in the game. So I really like that idea of what they're doing with the Node Wars there and improving those 30-minute battles. Basically, you hold the fort, and as long as you have the fort at the end of that 30 minutes, you keep it, and you gain the benefits of having that node and that territory when it's there. And I'll come around and I'll see your flag that you get to post for that area as well, and I'll love it. I do like it. It's been fun over the years. They are making some major quest changes, specifically quest changes to like the search function for quests, so you can figure out where quests are. Like one of the more confusing things that I dealt with inside Black Desert was the Jatina pin quest. And basically Jatina is a character that basically allows you to get a pin accessory and a pin armor piece, but the quest line just feels like, what the freak am I doing? And now what they're going to add is a UI, so that way you know where the crafting progress is for that pin. Like I can tell you right now, like I was working on my pin accessory with her. I completely forgot where the hell I am in the quest line, like in the crafting process. Completely forgot. I need to complete it, but they're going to be adding that a way to track that into the game. That's the problem with like Black Desert. It's so open world and there's so much to do that like you'll often find yourself doing something and then just deviate from that whole thing to doing a whole nother thing, and you forgot what the hell you were doing before. And so it feels like a big jump off in order to track certain things like that. But I think this is cool. So there's going to be a secondary pin accessory quest that's available to all players. So now you're going to be able to obtain 2 pin accessories via Jatina, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy about that. Another thing that they're going to be adding is the giveaway of Tet Black Star weapons. So every new player after a season, is trying to basically get Tet Black Star because that's the best in slot weapons. So now what you're going to be able to do is they're going to be adding a method for you to obtain one Tet Black Star weapon after you graduate a season. Now that weapon can be enhanced to pin, but know that you cannot sell it on the central market. I think obviously this is being done because they're going to be introducing the Fallen God weapons, and so the Tet Black Star is going to lose somewhat of its value inside the game. So just be aware of that, right? Finally, I think that they're going to be they talked about making some improvements to the console where they're going to basically be introducing the remaster to next gen consoles, which is good. And they're going to be giving console players a new edition of Avail's Heart, which isn't a bad thing at all that the players are basically getting this. I loved it when we got the remastered version of Black Desert. I still believe that Black Desert is probably one of the best looking MMORPGs on the market, and it has some of the best content inside of MMORPGs, except for the way that we live in an ADHD society and people just look for whatever new is to play. But there is something for you to enjoy about Black Desert, and you can't argue with people about whether it's pay to win or pay to play. Like, you just can't. It's pay for convenience. Like, that's the truth of the matter. I don't care how you scratch it, how you look at it. It's pay for convenience and pay for progress. So that's about all that we got from the Calpheon ball. I was disappointed not to hear any information about the gunslinger, mostly because of the fact that, that doesn't mean that we won't get him in 2024, but the fact that we already have two characters that were announced being introduced in 2024, even though we're getting the female scholar in 2023, you get what I'm saying. It just doesn't look good for that coming anytime soon. I like a lot of the improvements that are being made overall to the system buffs, and especially some of the PvP content, which I will be joining in on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave you a direction for where Black Desert is going in 2024. And I appreciate the Pearl Abyss team and the developers basically giving us the Calpheon ball as they have for years. 9 years. We're going on 10 years inside BDO, and I have loved every bit of it from, pre-alpha to now. Thank you guys. Until next time, peace.